Hello and welcome to Little Previews of Big Bike Races. I'm the little guy Matt. We're brought to you by the Wide Angle Podium Network, the biggest little podcast network out there. Today we're here to talk about two bike races that happen on the 12th of August 2020. First one we're going to talk about is Gran Piemonte, the 104th Gran Piemonte. Do not get it confused with any of the other editions. Now, Gran Piemonte is a race that moves around in the schedule and changes its course all the time. And this year, looks like a shark's mouth, a bunch of shark's teeth, uphill finish, ton of punchy little climbs in Italy. And it's the last tune-up for Lombardy, which is this coming weekend on the 15th, 8/15. So this is the last chance for all the folks that have been hanging out in Italy to really get that snapback in the legs. So we'll go through a little podium for this, and then we'll come back with our next race. Not as many big teams in this race. 90% of the biggest riders in the world are going to be at some little race in France that we'll talk about next. But coming in fifth, I'm going to say it's going to be Michael Albacini from Mitchelton Scott. I know he's getting old. I know he's in a retirement year, but I think that's all the more reason that he knocks off a big win here. Number 4, I think we're going to have Matthew Vanderpool. He's all right. He's not the Vanderpool of last year, but I think it's time for him to at least put in a dig. He'll get caught at the end, but he'll go for it. Number 3, I'm going to say third, seventh podium, it's going to be Fabio Rue, who's getting better. He's had some years in the dark, and if you look at his results over the last couple of weeks, he's getting good. He's getting the snapback in the legs. And if nothing else, he'll go for it, and we'll get some pain faces. Now, second place, Mr. Consistent at this point, is from Astana, Fuslan. One of the strongest riders in Strade Bianche. Just kind of went a little early. I think he's going to have it here. And then, I don't know where did he go? I don't know where they went. Let me go find them. Maybe they'll find them over here somewhere. It's Vincenzo Nibali! I'm just a little close-pin person. Nibali's going to be there. He's got to win. He doesn't have to win, but he needs a win in the bank before Lombardy, and he needs to at least put in the work, to try to make it happen. So I think the Shark of Messina, here in the red, white, and blue script, kind of Trek Segafredo, he's going to be there. He's going to be your winner. All right, our second race that starts this Wednesday, August 12th, is the Dauphine Libere, course brought to you by Renault. For the last 64 years, they've been a sponsor. I don't really understand. This must be a French thing. I don't believe they've made the Renault Dauphine since 1967, but beautiful car. Some problems, but it's a good sponsorship. It's a solid sponsorship, and that's what counts in cycling. This race is billing itself as the race to the summit, and that's all it is. It's 5 stages. Every single one ends with an uphill finish. The clearest way to tell you about these races is that this is how you would read them. Like stage 5, Cat 2, HC, 1, 2, 4, 2, 2, and 2. Every stage looks like that. It's 5 stages of pure climbing, pure uphill finish madness, and that's exactly why it has every single GC contender for the Tour de France in it. Now, in some ways, this could be one of the greatest races because it's just condensed mountains, and we don't have to deal with boring flat stages and time trials. And another way, it could be boring because 2 teams have been head and shoulders above the rest in all the stage races lately when they've gone head-to-head, and you know who I'm talking about. It's Ineos and Jumbo. So, I'm putting them over here as the 2 teams to beat. It could be good racing. It could also be boring racing because it's just them, and it could be a preview of how boring things will be in a way in a few weeks' time when the tour starts. I was going to say July, but it's not in July this year. The thing I think will be interesting to look for is after those two teams, you have a ton of second-tier GC contender teams and third-tier GC contender teams who really need to figure out where their leaders are right now. So it'll be interesting to see if any of these guys, now that we've got them all in one spot, they can actually put a dent in the Ineos Jumbo trains, because those two teams come just with so much firepower. So we'll throw up some second-tier teams. We've got like Pogacar. We'll have like Aran and Higinto, I think, will be there for EF. We'll have like Nairo, Thibaut Pinot, on your second tier. One of the Yates brothers could be, or they could be a third tier. Probably should have put them in an in-between. We always have the possibility of Landa being a second-tier rider. Will it happen this year? We don't know. Then we start the third tier. Second, Julian Alaphilippe. It's hard to know. He's obviously got good form, but is it going to translate into GC results? And then we've got kind of the random dudes. Like Dan Martin, Valverde, or Mas could come. But we haven't seen anything yet from those guys, really. We've seen, Bora could bring Micah. Astana could be bringing... they're bringing Lopez, but Lopez has seemed off the pace, so I'm putting him third tier. Usually he'd be a second tier rider. And then we've got Bardet, whose stock has fallen quite a lot lately. He's been injured too. But it's still possible. I always believe that injuries make people stronger. Who knows? We've got, Martin, who did well last year. And then we'll have, for Tim, Louis Mentes. So, let's put him up there. That's your third tier. This is like kind of your top, your second, your third. And while this will be fun racing, I think it's more about seeing how these teams, all these guys, can react to these guys and try to dethrone them and figure out over 5 days how they're going to work it in the Tour de France. And if the Tour ends up not happening because of coronavirus, at least we'll have these 5 days. So, hope you enjoy these two races, and I'll catch you back later in the week where I'll try to do a preview for Lombardy, the last Italian classic of the season.